Amway Center on a Tuesday night NBA playoff basketball. As the Magic take on the Atlanta Hawks, the number 4 seeded Orlando Magic and the number 5 seed Hawks in the Eastern Conference. Let's check out the starting lineup for tonight. Hedo Turkoglu, Dwight Howard, and Brandon Bass. The starting front court for the Magic, and the back court featuring Jason Richardson returning from a 1-game suspension, and Jameer Nelson. Stan Van Gundy's postseason record 29-23 with the Magic and 46-34 overall with Miami and Orlando. Here is Atlanta's starting 5 for tonight. Josh Smith, Jason Collins, and Al Horford. And the backcourt of Joe Johnson and Kirk Heinrich. Orlando Magic selling out 120 consecutive times now, postseason and regular season games included. And here we go on a Tuesday night. The Magic and the Hawks. Jameer Nelson and Kirk Heinrich match up at the point guard spot. Nelson got a screen from Howard. Bass fires. Rebound Smith. Magic got off to a very poor shooting start in Game 4 in Atlanta on Sunday night. 3 of 15 to start the game. And they've fallen behind in the first period of every game in this series.
I think what the Magic want to do is make the Hawks as uncomfortable as they possibly can defensively. The Magic are not a team that gets up and picks up full court or puts a lot of pressure on the ball. But I think we'll see a little bit tighter pressure tonight, challenging passes a little bit more to try to disrupt Atlanta in their half court.
Atlanta really has not been uncomfortable on the offensive end since Game 2, which the Magic won here, 88-82. All games have been single digits, except for Game 1, which Atlanta won by 10 points here at the Amway Center. There's a foul on Hedo Turkoglu. His matchup with Josh Smith at that small forward position. Larry Drew's team has a lineup that gives Orlando some matchup problems at the guard position. They're long and athletic. And Smith at the 3 has been problematic at times as well. He goes to the offhand and misfires. Rebound Bass. So nobody has scored yet in this basketball game. We played a minute 15. Nelson comes up short, hounded by Heinrich, who's done a good job defensively. And Turkoglu picks up personal foul number 2.
Well, that just shows you the importance of getting defensive position early. Hedo picked up that first foul. Really, he's been playing Josh Smith pretty well in the post. No need to body up and risk one early, and you could see there on the break, not wanting to give up a layup, but Hedo's going to go to the bench early.
Well, the Hawks normally want to play a very slow pace. However, when a running chance stares him in the face like that, Jameer Nelson had put up a shot on the baseline and missed badly. So all of a sudden now your transition defense is way out of whack, and not enough players back, which is unusual for the Magic. They usually get back in transition very well.
Now, a lot of Orlando's problems on the defensive end have been a result of such poor field goal shooting in this series. Smith gets 1 out of 2. Orlando shooting 40% in the series against Atlanta, and just 22% from beyond the arc. The team that led the NBA in 3 points attempted and made during the regular season. Richardson, that's Jason Richardson, serving a 1-game suspension Sunday in game number 4. Gets Orlando's first points in Game 5.
Boy, he curled off Dwight Howard very nicely. No way is Jason Collins going to try to help out defensively. As long he's trying to keep that body on Dwight, keep him off the offensive board.
Josh Smith goes up strong, and a foul is called against the Magic, and it'll go against Dwight Howard, number 1.
Josh Smith, a foul drawing magnet so far. He's drawn 3 fouls. And Josh taking it strong there, even though he's well aware that Dwight Howard, one of the best shot blockers in the business, but I think he was just trying to draw a foul.
And Matty, Josh Smith gets a lot of criticism for sometimes taking ill-advised shots, but he is really at his best when he's lurking around the basket, finding open spots, just because of his ability to go up and his length to finish, even though he favors that left hand most of the time.
Even though Josh Smith has played okay so far during this 3-1 lead for Atlanta, he hasn't had a typical Josh Smith great game where He just fills up every column in the stat sheet.
And as you point out, the Hawks still up 3-1, so Magic hoping that Smith does not explode for one of those outstanding overall games. Howard calling for it against veteran Jason Collins. The repost, Howard with terrific position inside, and a foul on Collins. Well, what a matchup that has been. Jason Collins, although he's averaged only 18 minutes per game, has been a major factor in this series, to say the least, on the defensive end against Dwight Howard.
Yeah, the Magic scoring against Atlanta while Jason Collins has been on the floor. Now, he's only capable of playing 18, 20 minutes, but it's like the Milwaukee Bucks were the lowest scoring team during the regular season, per 100 possessions, like at about 96. And while Jason Collins has been on the floor for Atlanta, the Magic are 76.
Wow.
That's how tough it's been in the half court. But Dwight Howard, talk about reposting. He almost reposted Jason out of the building.
Howard gets 1 of 2 at the foul line. Collins and Zaza Pachulia both averaging 18 minutes per game. Pachulia will come off the bench for Atlanta after serving a 1-game suspension. Altercation with Jason Richardson. Here's Joe Johnson's first offering of the night, rebounded by Nelson. Jameer looking ahead. And now the Magic settle in with a post up again for Howard. Atlanta not double teaming Dwight until they dig down. Here's Quentin Richardson for 3. Way off and out of bounds the ball goes. The Magic have missed 41 3-point attempts in the last 2 games. 20 in game 3 and 21 in game 4 Sunday night.
Well, you can't complain about the shot there. The Magic doing a good job of spacing the floor. Brandon Bass was drawing his defender out. Plenty of space for Dwight to operate.
Now, I think the Hawks have to feel a little bit emboldened about coming down on Dwight a little bit more than they did in the first couple of games of this series, with the Magic shooting so poorly from the outside. So when Dwight puts it on the floor, you can see more blue shirts digging down in there. And Dwight wisely gave the ball up for a good look for Quentin Richardson.
Here's Johnson again. Howard comes with a quick double team, and Heinrich missed the 3. Rebound Quentin Richardson. Orlando looks to run, and Bass to the front court, but Horford is there. Bass pulls the trigger. He's 0 for 3 on mid-range jumpers tonight. Brandon shooting 46% in this series. One of the better field goal percentages for the Magic against Atlanta. Heinrich gets into the lane. Finds Horford for the jumper that's good. Now Horford averaging 13 points per game in the series. That's his first field goal tonight. Smith with the slap on the arm and a foul on Josh Smith. That's his first, team foul number 2 on Atlanta. And the Hawks leading another low scoring first period in this series. 4-3, the Hawks on top. And Richardson on the free throw line.
I really like Jason Richardson's start to this game. On the defensive end, he got hung up on one screen, but you can really see his importance in this lineup, especially in that matchup with Joe Johnson. He has the size to deter Joe Johnson from catching and shooting and pulling up right away.
And he can get out on Joe, because Dwight Howard, as soon as Joe Johnson faces up, Dwight Howard is coming to that side of the floor and just showing himself to Joe Johnson to give him the idea that you're not going to get anything coming to the basket from a face-up.
Richardson has been such a premier scorer in postseason play that it's been a little surprising that he has not scored in this series very much, as Josh Smith gets his first field goal tonight. Here's Quentin Richardson. And now Howard facing up on Collins. Spinning left hook is no good. Rebound Josh Smith.
I think both Dwight Howard and Jason Collins are well aware, especially with Joe Crawford officiating, that they're going to mind their P's and Q's and not do anything silly, because Joe was ready to call. There's a 3 for Jameer Nelson.
And it comes in transition for the Magic. That's one way to get those good looks from beyond the arc. Pat, transition basketball.
No question about it, especially with other guys handling the ball. And with Hedo not on the floor, that's mainly going to be Jason Richardson if he gets the ball in his hands. But Jameer doing a nice job of playing off him and just finding an open spot, making Heinrich pay for getting sucked in there a little bit in transition.
Heinrich has only 4 turnovers in the series. Jameer Nelson has only 5 turnovers in this series. Nelson fires in a 2-pointer.
We have not seen that move from Jameer in a long time. The last couple of years, he really developed that nicely, coming off that high screen and not going straight to the basket, but taking himself to the middle of the floor to give himself a good look.
And as well as Kirk Heinrich has played this series, that is the one area where the Magic can make him pay is involving him in pick and rolls.
Offensive rebound, Josh Smith. Howard avoids committing his second foul and gets the rebound. Nelson spins on Heinrich, knocked away. Stolen by Atlanta. Well, what a difference Heinrich has made defensively to this Atlanta team. Smith backing in. Howard got a piece. Rebound Nelson. Richardson for 3. Howard, triple jump. And this crowd is loving the effort early on at the Amway Center.
Jameer Nelson just trailing on the slow, fast break, but the Magic right now will take any...
Halfway home in the first period here on this Tuesday night, Game 5 in the best-of-7 series. The Orlando Magic lead the Atlanta Hawks 10-8. David Steele, Pat Garrity, Matt Gukas, Paul Kennedy, and Jessica Blaylock here tonight. Let's get a report from Jessica.
Well, David, if there's one player who is having an outstanding series so far for the Orlando Magic, it is Dwight Howard. He's averaging 32 points to go along with a little over 17 rebounds per game against the Hawks. And thanks to his 29 points on Sunday, he has raised his career postseason average to an even 20 points per game. And that puts him in rare company. The only 2 players besides Dwight who have averaged 14 rebounds per game in the playoffs while boasting a scoring average of 20-plus points is Bob Pettit and Wilt Chamberlain. As you can see, Chamberlain with a little over 22 points and 24 rebounds. Pettit with 25 points and almost 15 rebounds. And David, we see Dwight Howard getting the crowd going tonight as well.
A tremendous effort on that last play by Howard to give the Magic another possession. Here is Richardson. And now Howard, quick spin move. Collins hits the deck, no call, and the shot no good, and a foul on Howard. So that does not go very well for the Magic. 2 personals on Dwight Howard. Collins trying to draw an offensive foul, no whistle. Dwight missed the shot, trying to get the offensive rebound, picks up number 2.
That's a shooting foul situation. The Magic over the limit. Those quick fouls in the opening minute drawn by Josh Smith with lots of time here left in the first quarter. And I thought, a little bit in Game 4, we saw the Hawks take advantage of it when Dwight Howard went to the bench with those 2 early fouls of attacking the basket about 3 out of 5 times.
And here we have Marvin Williams at the scores table. You'd expect him to be checking in for Jason Collins.
Here comes Williams in. Howard on the Orlando Magic bench, and Marvin Williams for Atlanta.
Yeah, Jason Collins was running on E anyway. He was exhausted, chasing Dwight up and down the floor. Well, chasing him back on defense.
John Smith splits the pair for the 3rd time in the first period. The Magic lead is a point. Howard on the bench with 2 fouls early. Brian Anderson checked in. Nelson attacking. His shot is good, but it won't count. The foul before the shot against Kirk Heinrich. Or rather, yeah, it is Kirk Heinrich. Number 1 on Heinrich. Magic will inbound the ball. Jamal Crawford checking in for the first time tonight. He has been sensational off the bench for Atlanta, putting up historic numbers in this series. 23 in game 1, 25 in game 2, 23 again in game 3, and 25 in game 4. Richardson against Al Horford. Ryan Anderson in the post against Marvin Williams. Made a nice move, but the shot is no good. Rebound Atlanta. Crawford wasting no time and launching a three. Richardson took the rebound away from Williams. Jason, coast to coast, lost his footing and turned it over. Here's Josh Smith. Crawford on the drive, and Horford from the free throw line. Rebound Bass.
It's amazing with all the poor shooting both ends of the floor. Nobody get an offensive rebound. Magic have none. The Hawks have one. That's been a big part of how the Magic have been able to score. Primarily Dwight Howard on the offensive glass. He's on the bench with 2.
Count it for Bass.
Well, Brandon Bass is going to get some of these opportunities, especially running pick and roll. The Hawks with this lineup are going to switch everything on the floor. He ended up with Joe Johnson in the post, and Joe just trying to pull the chair, and with Brandon able to keep his balance there, he had no other option other than to make a half-hearted slap.
Bass on the line for the first time tonight. The Magic, the poorest free throw shooting team in the regular season, shooting a little bit better as a team in the postseason. In fact, they've outshot Atlanta at the free throw line in this best-of-7 series so far, but neither team shooting it well. Shot missed inside by Johnson, rebounded by Quentin Richardson. Nelson threads the needle for Bass, and the foul on Pachulia. Well, the Magic's offense, I think it's 3 possessions now since Dwight Howard has been on the bench, has been very crisp in terms of execution.
Well, going to Brandon Bass. I went to him in the post. Now they put him in the middle of the floor pick and roll. The Hawks, the Magic, everybody has trouble guarding the pick and rolls, it seems, in the regular season, playoffs, summer league. When executed well, when you got a good guard like Jameer Nelson or when Hedo Turkoglu's on top of his game, they run the pick and roll extremely well. You got to come off and be aggressive and look to be a scorer first to draw the defense to you. And the Magic ball handlers are doing that. They're tough.
Good start for Jameer Nelson in this game, number 5, and Brandon Bass now with 5 points. J.J. Redick checked into the Orlando Magic a moment ago. Here's Crawford. He's got Bass one-on-one. His shot is no good. Smith missed the dunk. Rebound Williams. Crawford back to Marvin Williams. Stripped by Nelson. Redick challenging Johnson, goes up and under.
Well, sometimes when you're not shooting the ball well, getting out in transition is the best way to get a little confidence and get a little energy.
And going in against a very good shot blocker in Josh Smith, had to take it to the other side of the rim.
Josh Smith throws the ball to the front row. Magic defense, they've got Atlanta just a little bit rattled right now. With Howard on the bench, Redick hit a similar shot in game number 1. And Orlando opening up an 8-point lead. They're on a 9-1 run here in game 5. Nelson throws it away. Left his feet, nowhere to go. Crawford, a deep 3. That's short. Rebound Redick. Redick turns the corner, firing. J.J. Redick with a couple of buckets off the Magic bench. Atlanta will take timeout with 2:37 on the clock here in the first period.
Well, when your jumper's not going, the best way to get going is take a basket and get a layup. That wasn't all that easy. JJ doesn't get many lefties, but he gets a lot of these. Good look at the two-point jumper, 19-9.
Welcome back to Orlando's Amway Center on this Tuesday night. Orlando Magic opening up a 10-point lead on the Atlanta Hawks. And the run started when Dwight Howard went to the bench with his second personal foul. Defensive play by Jameer Nelson. And a circus shot by J.J. Redick to avoid the shot blocking of Josh Smith. And then Smith, an errant pass out of bounds. And the Magic come back with another two-point shot. J.J. Redick using the screen to get space and knock down the jumper. So the Magic on an 11-1 run. When Howard went to the bench with a second foul, Orlando led 10-9. Crawford stepped out of bounds.
Well, kind of a peculiar choice of offense there for Atlanta. They saw the matchup with Zaza Pachulia on Ryan Anderson, thought they had a size advantage, but Zaza really not a guy that they've been going to at all in this series.
Now that surprised everybody. That was a surprise play.
Not exactly what you expect coming out of a timeout. J.J. Redick, a baseline jump shot. 6 consecutive points for Redick. Atlanta's last 11 possessions, 8 missed shots, 3 turnovers. Horford backing down on Bass. Block shot for Bass. Nelson launching a 3. Rebound Williams. Stolen by Anderson. Anderson gets it back. No good again. Rebound Horford. Pachulia runs over Richardson, and a foul is on Quentin Richardson. Blocking foul on cue, his first.
Usually Al Horford's able to get his jump shot off against just about anybody, but even on the fadeaway, Brandon Bass timed that beautifully to get a piece of it. And it's always a combination. Right now the Magic are playing with a lot of enthusiasm defensively, and the Atlanta Hawks, I don't know what they're doing offensively. There's no execution. They don't seem to have a plan. They don't seem to have an idea. They're waiting for somebody to get a hot hand. The Magic have that hot hand right now in J.J. Redick.
And Matty, I thought the Orlando Magic rather dodged a little bit of a bullet at the beginning when Dwight Howard went out with 2 fouls. There were a couple follow-ups for missed tip-ins, a couple of missed open shots, but now really the ball has stopped moving and they're not getting good shots.
Redick feels it, drills it. 8 for J.J. Redick. Pachulia driving in, double team, lost the ball. Bass knocked it away. Redick looking for an opening, doesn't get one, still shoots, got it, and a foul.
That is a man who is feeling it right now. After game 4, 0 for 6 from the field, he did not feel good about how he played in that game. And you could tell he was going to come out tonight and not leave any bullets in the chamber.
He was not even open on this play. Heinrich can't guard him any better. And the foul on Kirk Heinrich, his second. Dwight Howard, who went to the bench at the midway point in the period, has watched his teammates take control of the basketball game in the first quarter.
Now, this is another post-up for Zaza Pachulia.
We'll launch an investigation. Crawford off the screen, and Pachulia gets it again. Heinrich. Pachulia stripped down low by Nelson. Redick bounces it out of bounds.
Good idea. Good idea. I think J.J. expected Quentin to keep running to cross the front of the rim and take it to the right side. You know, those kind of turnovers you don't mind. You know, it's you got to when you get that running opportunity, you got to look for it. And good idea for try to hit Quentin on the cut.
Orlando averaging 14 turnovers in the series. That is their third tonight here in quarter number 1 with the clock ticking down. And Crawford looking for an opening. Nelson committing the foul will put Jamal Crawford at the line with just under 2 seconds to play.
And
Crawford, a lot of talking now.
Crawford, a little bump on Jameer Nelson, but did his talking to the referee. He thought that there was a little extra oomph in that hack by Jameer. And Jameer made sure it wasn't going to be a three-point play.
Crawford scoreless so far. There's the bump into Quentin Richardson.
He was talking to Jameer, but he just wasn't looking at him, which is smart.
Crawford did not play in a postseason game until he had played 676 regular season games. Finally got there last year with Atlanta. And boy, has he been good in the postseason. He scored 20 points or better 9 of 15 games in the postseason with Atlanta.
The three-point shooting has been unbelievable, 57%.
That's the end of the first quarter. It is a great one for the Magic. They have a 13-point lead. Getting it done on the offensive end and the defensive end as well. The Magic trying to narrow the series, stay in it. They're down 3-1 against Atlanta, but they lead by 13 after one period in game number 5. The Magic 26, the Hawks 13. With a 13-point lead after one quarter, 26-13, and J.J. Redick sparks the Magic coming off the bench. He has scored the last 11 points in the first quarter for the Magic, who went on a 16-4 run. Most of that coming after Dwight Howard picked up his second foul in the first quarter. Howard is back on the floor to start the second quarter for the Magic. Gilbert Arenas also has checked in. Nelson going to the bench. Joe Johnson, that floater, he banks it in. He's made many of those in this best-of-7 series, and some at critical times in fourth periods. That's his first field goal tonight. Now it's Pachulia matched up with Howard. Redick, Anderson, three-point shot on his way. Drills it. Anderson shooting poorly in this series. That one looks very good.
And a pass out from Dwight with no double team. A little flare screen set by Ryan Anderson. Trying to go to the hot hand, J.J. Redick. That's a good sign for the Magic.
Orlando has its largest lead enjoyed in the series. 14-point advantage in the second quarter. Johnson's floater is no good. Rebound, Gilbert Arenas. Redick. Quentin Richardson for three. It's good. 23s in the game for the Magic. They've already made more than they did in Game 4 Sunday night, Pat.
And you can just tell when you're making shots how much easier it is to move the ball and find open spots on the floor. The Magic getting it both in half court and in transition there. Quentin Richardson doing a nice job running the floor.
Anderson strips it from Horford.
And a lot of different guys getting involved, too. And the Magic running more. And when you do that, it seems like you play better defense, too.
Howard fouled hard by Marvin Williams. Walks away from the scene of the crime. Williams picks up number 1.
And there was that flare screen set by Ryan Anderson. And it usually happens. You set a good screen, you go line up with the shot. Good kick back by J.J. Keeps the ball moving, and a semi-transition play there.
Howard shooting his third free throw of the game. He has shot well from the free throw line in the series, 68%. 67% from the floor. Pachulia goes to the bench for Atlanta. Jason Collins returns for Larry Drew.
Zaza Pachulia had a very solid Game 3, especially his defense on Dwight Howard. Until the little dust-up with Jason Richardson. His first stint tonight, an utter disaster.
Well, he was catching the ball on spots on the floor where he's not used to catching it. I think he would prefer playing defense and rebounding and getting his shots off of effort rather than having to create things in the post.
That was a shocker. But the other guys you got in the court, you got Al Horford, you had Jamal Crawford. Running your offense for Zaza is not a good strategy.
Anderson trying to reversal. It is taken away by Atlanta. Howard chasing Crawford from behind, and a foul on the Magic. Quentin Richardson with a push on Al Horford, and Horford judged not in the act of shooting. Didn't have possession, says Jason Phillips. Personal foul number 2 on Quentin Richardson.
Yeah, Larry Drew, can't understand why they're not giving him 2 shots. It did look like Al Horford caught with 2 hands and released the shot all in one motion.
Thompson wants it against Arenas. Howard is there for the double team. They pass out and get an open look for Marvin Williams. Rebound, Arenas took it away from Collins. Gilbert coming off a 20-point game Sunday night. Anderson for 3. Orlando's lead reaches 19. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. And a foul on Arenas. Trying to push Joe Johnson away from his spot, picking up his first.
Well, Dwight Howard running the floor hard, and that meant that Al Horford had to pick him up the much slower.
Early in the second quarter, 36-17. Take a look at the playoff picture. In the Eastern Conference, Chicago and Indiana are playing tonight with the Bulls up 3-1 in Chicago, game 5 tonight. New York already swept by the Boston Celtics, and Philly salvaging a game in game 4. That series is also at 3-1. In the Western Conference, Memphis, the 8th seed, leading number 1 seeded San Antonio 3-1. Oklahoma City lost to Denver last night, so that series is now 3-1. Dallas leading Portland, and the series between the Lakers and the Hornets is tied at 2-2. Our text poll tonight with 5 series at 3-1. Which NBA team has the best chance to win their first round series coming from behind? Denver, Indiana, the Magic, the Sixers, or the Spurs? Text your vote to 789-789. Crawford off the screen. Howard challenged, may have gotten a piece. Rebound Anderson, and now Redick to the front court. Great defense by Dwight Howard. Here's Arenas for 3. Rebound Horford.
Last possession for Atlanta. Very poor recognition on the part of the Hawks. They had Joe Johnson matched up with Gilbert Arenas, and they never looked at him.
Boy, quick hands by the Magic defensively. Another deflection. Atlanta's ball as Turkler returns. He picked up 2 fouls in the first couple of minutes. Mojito back for Quentin Richardson.
Well, the Hawks they're just jogging. They're not cutting hard. They're not running hard off little curls.
Shot clock at 2, and they launch a jumper. It's no good. Anderson gets the rebound. Orlando leading by 19. Atlanta shooting 20% from the floor. Arenas, nice slip pass to Howard, and a foul on Atlanta's Jason Collins.
I'm a little surprised that Jason Collins, who has, let's face it, has defended Dwight he's done his job, let's put it that way. And the Hawks that were successful defensively while he's been on the floor, but he has committed 2 silly fouls against Dwight. One of them, Dwight was so far underneath the basket. I don't know how he was going to get a shot off. That was his first. This one, even if Dwight makes a layup, but you want a guy like Jason Collins, if the game does get close, they're going to need his fouls down the road.
Collins back to the bench for Atlanta, and Pachulia, hearing the boos from the crowd at the Amway Center, checks back in. He started his career, Zaza, with the Magic. He was a very popular player in his rookie year of 2003.
And the headbutts.
Turned villain now.
The headbutts on Jason Richardson turned all that around.
Now you get headbutted by the Georgia Dome, and you know you've been headbutted.
And when he went to Atlanta, he was a guy that the Hawks were going to on offense. He has some ability to score, just not really his role with this team now.
Can't get it into Joe Johnson.
And a long shot by Smith, but not long enough to count for 3. His second field goal tonight. 7.5 to play in the first half. The Magic with the lead, 38-19. Hedo Turkoglu turned the corner and now fires a jumper. Got it! Turk shooting 23% in the series. That's his first field goal tonight.
Normally, that's not the kind of shot you want when you're struggling with your shot. That's a tough one.
Redick is matched up with Crawford here. Horford, Smith, another jumper by Josh Smith. Good again. 8 points for Josh Smith. Make that 9. He leads Atlanta in scoring. Turkoglu on a screen. Gilbert Arenas finds Turk in the right corner. Rebound Arenas back to Turkoglu. He drives the lane. He scores.
Big stride by Hedo to get himself clear after Gilbert Arenas hustling in for the offensive board. It's amazing the Hawks can't get the ball to Joe Johnson posting up Gilbert Arenas.
When they have, the Magic have been coming very quickly with double teams. Josh Smith catching it, facing up on Turkoglu. And number 3 on Turk. Tried to cut off the drive by Josh Smith. And now he's got 3 personal fouls. Hedo with 3 minutes and 3 fouls. He'll come back to the bench.
Well, just nothing seeming to go right for Turk. You thought with those last 2 buckets he was going to be able to get something going there, but with the 2 early fouls on Smith, he really had no margin for error there. And even though he's been playing Josh pretty well throughout this series, I think Smith, especially since he has it going now, is going to look at going at whoever's on him.
J.J. Redick getting a breather. Here's it from the crowd, and deservedly so. He really gave the Magic big-time spark midway through the first quarter.
There was your isolation play, post up on a wing for Joe Johnson, rather, but he passes it up. Howard with the deflection, rebounded by Anderson, and ahead to Arenas. Arenas scoring 20 in game 4. Penetrates in, fires the jumper over Pachulia, got it! Gilbert Arenas with his first field goal tonight.
He made a nice little move there, similar to the Jameer Nelson use, so only Jameer went right to left into the paint. That time Gilbert Arenas kind of took himself out to the wing, but the Magic make a nice little adjustment off those high screens.
Gilbert shot the gap right there. The game plan, especially with a guy like Heinrich who's been shooting so well, is to trail that guy. Gilbert was a little late and did the best he could, but
you know, yeah, you're right, Pat. And if Heinrich makes that jumper while you're trailing him, no problem. But you're right. And everybody on the Magic expects him to follow on that play, so you don't want to go over the top.
Howard retrieves the loose ball and hammers it home. First field goal tonight for Dwight Howard. And we've got a foul away from the ball on Ryan Anderson.
Well, Dwight Howard not that involved offensively thus far. That's a pretty easy bucket right there, though.
Point lead in the first half in game 5 of the best of 7 series. Orlando looking for its second victory against the Atlanta Hawks. Hey fans, the Magic Team Shop presented by Adidas is your exclusive playoff headquarters for all of your official Magic merchandise for men, women, and children. Visit the Magic Team Shop presented by Adidas, downtown Orlando, inside the Amway Center. It's open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Free short-term parking is available. That's important information for you down on Church Street. Gear up for Blue and White Ignite. Well, if the Magic are going to expect a lot of offense from Dwight Howard tonight, he might just have to go and get missed opportunities in there. An offensive rebound and stick back by Howard, his first field goal in the game. Dwight getting a lot of support from his teammates here in game number 5.
And the only Hawk that has been successful in keeping Dwight off the board is Jason Collins, as Joe Johnson knocks down a 3.
That's his second field goal tonight. Johnson averaging 20 points in the series. Jason Richardson. That's good for 3. Orlando is 5 of 10 from beyond the arc in tonight's game.
And the Hawks have been getting a lot of credit throughout this series, because you always are when you're up 3-1 in the series. And they're the underdog about their 3-point defense. But as the Magic have seen when looking at their tape, missed a lot of open threes in the first 4 games.
And Matt, to your point, a lot of the threes that were missed were somewhat contested, with the exception of corner threes. These are shots which guys from the Hawks are just getting sucked in too far, really not being positioned to start the play properly.
Another good look from beyond the arc for Anderson, but it's off back iron. Josh Smith. Driving shot is good by Smith. Josh Smith has 11 to lead Atlanta in scoring. J.J. Redick has 11 for the Magic. Orlando scoring much more balanced tonight than in the first 4 games of this series. Nelson is back for the Orlando Magic. 3-point shot. The floodgates have opened. Richardson with another triple. A 24-point lead for the Magic late in the second quarter. Josh Smith. Tip in by Horford. His second field goal tonight.
So that's what happens when Dwight comes and double teams Joe Johnson, and now there's a scramble to try to rotate back and find people. You generally, of course, Dwight doesn't have to box out anyway, but nobody got a body on Al Horford.
Howard touched it last. It'll be Atlanta basketball. We have timeout with 2:13 to play in the period. The Orlando Magic have opened up as much as a 24-point lead on the Atlanta Hawks in game number 5. Jason Richardson knocking in a pair of threes in a quarter. The Magic lead it by 22. The Atlanta Hawks 3-1 coming into tonight. Lead by 22 late in the second quarter at the Amway Center. Hey fans, FoxSportsFlorida.com has the latest news surrounding all of your favorite Florida sports teams. Log on and find video and exclusive analysis from tonight's game. You'll also get Magic post-game coverage. Log on, FoxSportsFlorida.com. Beautiful evening here in Central Florida. The Magic trying to climb back in this series. They find themselves trailing 3-1. Stan Van Gundy has never coached a team that did not at least get out of the first round. 2 years with Miami. In 04 they got to the second round. In 05 they made it all the way to the Eastern Finals. And then with the Magic, second round in 08, the NBA Finals in 09, and the Eastern Conference Finals last year. But Orlando's going to have to do something that only 8 other NBA teams have ever done if he's going to avoid his first round exit in his coaching career. Atlanta with the ball. The Magic with a 22-point lead. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Johnson isolated out top. No double team this time, and Horford feeds inside to Pachulia.
Well, one of the rare times the Hawks have gotten the ball inside to one of their big guys. Of course, Dwight Howard, Stan Van Gundy taking Dwight out to protect him with those 2 personal fouls, but they have not found their big guys. They've been open a lot around the hoop.
Long rebound in the hands of Pachulia. Smith gets it in deep against Quentin Richardson. His shot trickles off the rim. Reeled in by Bass. Nelson to the front court with 1:15 to play in the quarter. Pachulia's got Nelson on a switch. Jameer missed a shot. Richardson fouled on the flying follow. A terrific hustle play by Quentin Richardson. And the foul on Smith is number 2.
And the Magic just a step quicker on everything. really no help at all on Zaza on the pick and roll. And Quentin just doing what he can to sneak underneath there and get a hand on the ball.
Saying he had control of it.
And Richardson at the free throw line for the first time tonight. And his first start of the postseason due to the Jason Richardson suspension in Game 4. Smith goes to the bench for Atlanta. Marvin Williams is back in. Quentin Richardson, a playoff-tested NBA veteran, had started all 20 of his postseason games before this year in Phoenix and Miami. Here's Joe Johnson. Out to Horford. Crawford looking for his first points of the night. There they are. That's from the field, I should say. He did knock in 2 free throws back in the first period. Crawford's first field goal is a 3. The Magic lead by 19. Richardson gets into the lane on Johnson, and a little Olay defense by Atlanta. Jason Richardson has a dozen first-half points. Crawford stripped down low by Nelson. Picked up by Anderson. Well, Nelson's done that 3 or 4 times tonight defensively. 3.5 seconds difference in the clocks for Jameer. Magic leading by 21. Nelson driving on Crawford, lays it in.
Schooled him in Mullins' moves there. Oh, change of direction, crossover, hesitation, stop and go.
Johnson, no good at the buzzer. And for the Magic, the first half could not have gone much better. Nelson giving Crawford the crossover. Welcome back to the Amway Center. Game number 5, halfway home here at the Amway Center in downtown Orlando on a beautiful Tuesday night. The Magic lead the Atlanta Hawks 58-35. Welcome back courtside. David Steele along with Pat Garrity and Matt Kukas here for game number 5. And Orlando doing it with balanced scoring. And you look at the stat sheet, guys, and Dwight Howard having on paper his poorest game statistically, and yet he has done so many things to help the ball club be successful in this first half and has no turnovers. 26 turnovers in the first 4 games, none tonight in the first half.
You're right about that, David. As well as he has played offensively, I think this game has been his most active on defense, helping, hedging, playing the pick and roll. Not only him, but all of the Magic big men. Not only are they doing it with energy, they're anticipating the Hawks' movements, they're anticipating the plays, and they're at the spot before the play even happens.
Well, David, you mentioned Dwight Howard doing so many things to help his team, primarily running the floor hard. And even though Dwight didn't get the catch or the finish, it opened up some good scoring opportunities for his teammates. And the Magic have, at least for the time being, broken out of their 3-point shooting slump, 6 for 13 at the half.
Very good overall first half. The Magic as a team had 0 turnovers in the second period and shot 55% from the floor. Let's check in with Jessica Blaylock and Magic assistant coach Steve Clifford.
Thank you, David. Well, Coach Clifford, a phenomenal first half for your team. Balanced scoring, solid 3-point shooting, defensive stops. What's made the biggest difference so far tonight in this first half?
Well, our defense, our execution was great. Our intensity was good attention to detail. And then we played with a lot more offensive energy. I thought Jameer set a tone to start. And then when JJ came in the game, really in all pick and rolls, he got us going.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck in the second half. David, back to you.
And the Magic in the first half. Balanced scoring, 12 for Jay Rich, Redick with 11, Nelson with 7, Anderson and Howard have 6 apiece. Atlanta starts the quarter with a Collins-Heinrich pick and roll. And Collins comes up short. A good defensive play by Hedo Turkoglu to avoid picking up his 4th personal foul. Nelson comes off a screen, shooting the jumper. Bass tried to follow, could not. Rebound Smith. Long throw ahead to Horford, and a foul on Jason Richardson. Number 2 on Jay Rich. Al Horford will go to the free throw line for Atlanta.
Well, to Steve Clifford's point there, I don't think it's any big surprise that the Magic were able to come out with a lot of energy. I think the biggest risk for this game was them coming out so wound up and so wanting to win the game that they didn't have the focus that they were able to display. They really were under control, both on the offensive and defensive end, and really very few mistakes.
And you know, Pat, it's such a natural tendency for the team that's leading 3 games to 1, especially going on the road. You feel like you're playing with house money, and obviously the Hawks do not have the same sense of urgency that the Magic do because they're in an elimination situation, and the Hawks kind of went through the motions pretty much that first half.
Well, Atlanta scores first in the 3rd quarter on a pair of free throws by Al Horford. Magic lead is 21. Biggest lead in the first half, 24 for the Magic. Nelson and Bass run the pick and roll again. Now Bass posting up, squaring up on Horford. Now backing down, fires a tough jumper, and it is no good. Howard chasing after the rebound, and it's touched last by Atlanta.
All right, Dwight working hard there. Sandwich between Jason Collins and Al Horford. The offensive rebound has been very good to Dwight Howard in this series, despite being down 3-1. It's with the Magic shooting so poorly. There's so many good opportunities for Dwight.
There's a nice drive on the pick and roll by Jameer Nelson. Nelson's got 9 in the basketball game, had 7 in the first half. Magic scored for the first time in the 3rd period. Josh Smith. Joe Johnson, a good look from beyond the arc. No good. Rebound, Howard. Pass again, the screen setter and a pick and roll. Now Howard will set the pick for Turkoglu. Richardson lets it fly. Rebound, Smith. Johnson cross court to Horford. Bass has Heinrich on a switch. Horford the advantage on Nelson, and a foul on Jameer. Trying to fight Al Horford, keep him out of the post. That's number 2 on Jameer Nelson.
Well, Jameer's getting his money's worth on some of these fouls. He got Jamal Crawford early on a jump shot. Really whacked him hard. That time he banged Al Horford pretty good too.
Johnson drawing that quick double team. And that'll be number 3 on Jameer. Did not quite get as much money's worth on that one as he did on the first 2.
Now finally the Hawks, at least they had Collins on the move while Dwight was double teaming, and Collins at least cut to the basket. That's what opened Josh Smith on the weak side.
Smith was in the act of shooting, so he's on the line. He is 3 of 7 at the free throw line tonight, and came in just 6 of 14, shooting 43% in the series.
Yeah, on the plus side, he picked up 2 quick fouls on Hedo Turkoglu and a quick one on Dwight Howard, but he didn't take advantage of it from the free throw line. And he started making some funny passes, and he knocked down a couple of jump shots. You just never know.
Every time he's been to the line, he's missed the first and made the second. He's 4 of 8 at the free throw line tonight, Josh Smith.
Which is better than he's been shooting in the series. He's down at the 40s.
Turkoglu knocks it in, 4-3. Nelson is down on the floor.
Gotta take a foul here.
Bass does not.
Trey Heinrich might take a shot there. Jameer's at least back, but Jameer doesn't want to commit the foul.
And you don't want Howard to commit a foul, but he did reaching in. Number 3 on Dwight Howard.
I think Brandon Bass was aware, but Heinrich was aware as well. And Heinrich was just waiting for Brandon Bass to come up on him. He's going to fire the shot, and it looked like knee on knee. Josh Smith and Jameer. A glancing blow.
Horford misses the first of 2, so Bass and Jason Richardson also heard it from Stan Van Gundy about not taking a foul. And Dwight Howard winds up picking up his third. Nelson on the sideline. Gilbert Arenas has checked in. And Horford goes 1 of 2. Arenas now runs the Magic as he brings it to the front court. Almost 3 minutes gone in the third period. Turkoglu finds Arenas. He lets it fly. Rebound Johnson. Heinrich, three-point shot, no good. Rebound Howard. Number 6 for Dwight. Long outlet to Gilbert Arenas.
Even on that outlet pass there by Dwight Howard, he held the ball above his head. Made a three-quarter court pass, really a telegraph pass, and no Hawk defender was there to even apply any pressure.
Now it looks to me like some of these Hawks players are going to try to get some stats before they go to the bench.
Nice crossover by Smith, and the floater is good. Stan Van Gundy does not like his team's defense on that Atlanta possession. So a timeout taken by the Magic. Stan Van Gundy, an early, angry timeout for the Magic. Magic basketball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by your Central Florida Buick dealers. By Aleve, the official pain reliever of the Orlando Magic. By OUC, the reliable one. And by Southeast Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota, moving forward. A live look outside the Amway Center on this Tuesday night. And another sellout crowd in attendance. 120 consecutive sellouts here in Orlando for NBA basketball. Orlando was led by as many as 25 in game number 5. Gilbert Arenas, Jason Richardson, Hedo Turkoglu, Brandon Bass, and Dwight Howard on the floor for the Magic. Kirk Heinrich, Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, Al Horford, and Jason Collins for Atlanta. Arenas had a lot of success in that pick and roll in game 4 and scores on the easy putback. Atlanta really not defending the pick and roll very well when Gilbert Arenas
David,
has gone to it.
You posed the question in game 4. Can Gilbert Arenas run that high screen and roll effectively with Dwight Howard? He certainly did it in game 4. That was a nice one right there. As Jason Collins got caught in no man's land. Collins tries to show and get back to Dwight, and he didn't do anything.
I don't think Atlanta believes that Arenas is capable of getting past their point guards, and they play the pick and roll a little bit differently than they do against Jameer Nelson.
Well, he had no problem in game 4.
And in that case right there, Dwight Howard really did a nice job of waiting on the screen, and Kirk Heinrich really with a lot of contact up there and wasn't in the play from the start. And Jason Collins really did the best he could corralling.
That's 2 missed free throws for Kirk Heinrich. His first free throws of the series. Jason Collins, on the free throw line. Here's Arenas. And the jumper, no good. A 3 attempt by Arenas. He had a good look. Here comes Josh Smith. Magic leading by 24 in the third quarter. Johnson, cross court. And now Horford. Smith spinning into traffic, and a foul reaching in against the Magic.
I think I just saw Kirk Heinrich pass the ball and cut. When is the last time you saw an NBA player pass and cut?
Well, he's the one guy on that team that'll do it. He, in his time with the Bulls, his biggest strength handling the ball.
Yeah,
was a ball mover and a guy that was very active.
And that's a...
It almost looks out of place because...
It's an anomaly, yeah, pass and cut.
Because the other guys really aren't doing it with the same energy and effort that he is.
Yeah. They kind of usually pass and a little V cut away and spot up.
Smith getting to the free throw line. This is his 10th attempt of the game. Orlando Orlando still up by 22. They led by 23 at the end of the first half. We played almost 5 minutes of the third quarter of Game 5. There's Arenas driving it easily to the basket, and a foul on Atlanta.
Nice little pump fake by Gilbert Arenas.
And he took a shot to the face.
Well, you have to wonder how long they're going to stay with this coverage here. Collins just kind of playing back and not really making much of a difference on either Dwight or obviously Gilbert Arenas.
You know, the thing I'm surprised about, Pat, is Kirk Heinrich and Gilbert Arenas were teammates earlier this year in Washington. Kirk Heinrich had been traded from the Chicago Bulls. And, you know, even though in his day, Gilbert Arenas, when healthy, he can go to his left, but not nearly as well as he goes to his right. And every time, Kirk Heinrich has let him go to his right hand.
You would think on a side pick and roll, maybe forcing it down baseline would be a lot better than letting the Magic point guards get to the middle of the floor.
Heinrich got a good look coming off the screen and buries the two-point jumper. 6 points for Kirk Heinrich, averaging 11 per game in the series against the Magic. Now Turkoglu will handle it out high against Josh Smith. Slips the pass to Howard, going up for the dunk, and a hard foul committed by Horford.
And good job by Hito, coming off hard. 2 hard dribbles off the pick, and Dwight Howard cutting hard to the bed. That makes all the difference in the world at the offensive end. You know, the Magic have struggled, let's face it, throughout the series so far in the half-court offense. It has not been nowhere near as efficient as it was during the regular season. Of course, you're playing a lot of weak teams during the regular season, but a lot of their problems have stemmed from the fact that they just had not moved the ball well, nor moved themselves well.
And tonight, the Magic have done a lot of things well in building this sizable lead against Atlanta. Jameer Nelson returns. That is good for the Magic. He went out with what appeared to be a knee-on-knee collision earlier in the period.
And the Hawks now have moved Al Horford to the 5. This has been their best offensive lineup, but the problem is on the defensive end, they're giving up a little bit in the post with Dwight Howard.
Horford only 2 fouls so far tonight.
They're giving up a lot, Pat.
Near steal by Turkoglu. Horford gathers it, gives to Joe Johnson. Rebound, Bass. Atlanta shooting 34% for the game. Richardson posting up Crawford, who just checked in. Bass is open. Josh Smith rebounds, wants to start the fast break for Atlanta. Heinrich to Smith. Fall-away jumper. Wild, no good. Rebound, Bass saving it to Jameer Nelson.
See, now that time Josh Smith passed and didn't cut and was rewarded with the ball back.
Jason Richardson, a terrific shot after Crawford gambled on the steal attempt. Richardson with 14 in the game. Orlando has matched its largest lead of the night. Heinrich turns the corner. Smith fires again. Rebound, Howard. Magic ball. Heinrich trying to sneak in and steal it. Orlando gets it back with 5:15 to go in a quarter. Well, they called the foul on Heinrich. That's number 4 on Kirk Heinrich.
And it looks like the Hawks are going to go into a zone defense, a little 2-3 that we have not seen that yet in this series. It's a little dangerous with the Magic shooting the 3-ball so well tonight, but I guess when you're down 25, see what it looks like.
Throw caution to the wind here in Game 5. Ryan Anderson just checked in. Howard taking it. Horford is there. Howard wheeling through the lane. The lefty hook, no good.
Yeah.
Anderson easy saved it. Howard goes crashing into the front row, but he's okay.
And the other thing with his own defense, it really opens up a lot of excellent offensive rebounding opportunities. Ryan Anderson got a piece of that one, and
ooh, that guy saw his life flashing before his eyes.
Wasn't quite Shaq going in there, but
Shaq
still a big man.
He would have taken out section 107. Johnson with a tough floater. Rebound, Turkoglu. Here is Turk against Heinrich. Ito at 6'10", Heinrich at 6'4". Richardson all alone for three. He drills it. Atlanta having problems covering the Magic's three-point shooters tonight. Orlando has made 8 from beyond the arc. And the Hawks take timeout with 4:16 to play in the third. The Magic have opened up a 28-point lead in Game 5. Keeps on at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and high definition on Fox. Ford Road ahead. Game 6 if the Magic continue to play as well as they are and wrap up Game 5. It'll be Thursday in Atlanta. Game 7, if there is one, would be Saturday in Orlando. We will televise both Game 6 and 7 if there is one on one of our networks, either Fox Sports Florida or Sun Sports. David Steele, Pat Garrity, Matt Gukas from Orlando on a Tuesday night. A nice feed from Pachulia to Josh Smith.
Well, the dribble. Dwight Howard that time really extending the defense, and you can't blame his effort. Maybe took 1 or 2 steps too many out there, and the guys in the back did a nice job of covering, but he didn't get back quite soon enough.
Nelson finds Turkoglu, cast up a shot. Richardson, same spot, different result. Rebound Horford.
Well, Dwight has had so little to worry about with the Hawks centers, except when Horford has been at the 5 spot, that he can afford to go out a little bit farther on the floor to help out.
Atlanta shooting 33% from the floor now. Just 3 of 11 in this period. Richardson firing, comes up short. Rebound Horford.
Yeah, you got to put that one on the floor and take it to Crawford. The Magic have been going at Jamal Crawford as much as they can. Want to make him work defensively as much as he has hurt the Magic with his jump shooting.
Smith for 3. Josh Smith making his 3rd 3 of the series. Shooting 18% from beyond the arc in the series coming into tonight. And 18% in his postseason career. This is his 34th postseason game. Here's Nelson, now Turkoglu. On a Howard screen and turns the corner on Pachulia. Scoops it in.
Well, coming off shoulder to shoulder. Magic have really run some tough pick and roll. Even if the Hawks were playing good defense, they would have trouble with some of these pick and rolls that the Magic have executed.
Well, the Magic, one of the best, if not the best, pick and roll teams in the NBA, with Howard such a great screen center and roller to the rim. Here's Horford with an 18-footer. Got it. Al Horford. 9 points, 10 rebounds for Horford.
And that was really one of the first times we saw Joe Johnson able to curl the screen there. The Magic defenders doing a nice job of trailing, but also the big guys stepping out and preventing him from being able to curl. That time Ryan was a little bit late, and as a result, Joe was able to get into the lane.
Anderson for 3. His 3rd of the night. Jamal Crawford in the front court for Atlanta with 1:14 to play in the 3rd. Richardson working hard on Joe Johnson. Shot clock is at 3. Smith lets it go again. No good. Rebound tipped by Horford to Johnson. Under a minute to play in the quarter. Smith down the lane. Fouled on the drive by Richardson. His 4th. And Josh Smith will go back to the free throw line.
Back for the Magic, number 7,
J.J. Redick checks into the game and gets a nice round of applause from the sellout crowd here at the Amway Center. Redick sparked the Magic in the first half. Came in that first quarter and scored 11 points in 11 minutes.
You know, Pat, I'm a little surprised the Magic are continuing. Well, I don't have to worry about that as Joe Johnson's going out. But continuing to pay so much attention to him. Pretty much, he's going to take 2-point jump shots. And, you know, he play him one-on-one, challenge the shot. And let's face it, the Hawks have shot the three very well in this series. It's really the only way that they have a prayer of getting back in this game. If Jamal Crawford gets hot, Josh Smith gets hot, or Kirk Heinrich, or even Joe Johnson himself starts knocking down some threes. But the Magic now can afford to give up all the long twos they want to.
Josh Smith and Dwight Howard get tangled up on that pick and roll. And the foul is on Smith, his third.
Matty, back to your point there, the Magic are definitely erring on the side of overhelping. What they have been doing a good job of, by and large, is leaving the guys open who they want to shoot three. So a lot of times there'll be stunts off of guys like Jamal Crawford or Joe Johnson, and Josh Smith is the one with the open shot.
Anderson had a good look. Howard fouled hard by Pachulia. Dwight, a flash of anger, and then he steps away from the instigator, Zaza Pachulia. Hard foul up around the neck. Dwight with a quick word to Pachulia and then wisely walked away. He's already been called for 2 technical fouls in this series. Howard on the line, misses the first of 2. That's his 9th free throw attempt of the game. There's Pachulia engaged in a altercation with Jason Richardson in game number 3 Friday night in Atlanta. Howard's second free throw rattles in. The Magic's biggest lead has been 28. They're up 26 with 23 seconds to go in the third.
And the Magic have to be very careful in these situations, not to retaliate or anything like that. My vast knowledge of ice hockey, you know, when an ice hockey team is getting blown out, they usually do something of a goonish nature to, quote, send a message for the next game.
Well, that would not be wise. That's a clock violation on Atlanta. Smith caught holding the ball deep on the right wing.
Yeah, I mean, the Hawks would love nothing more than Zaza Pachulia to whack Dwight and Dwight to you know, whack him back. And
they both get suspended.
Suspended for game 6.
Who gets the short end of that deal? That's the end of the quarter. The Magic will take a 26-point lead in game 5 to the 4th period. Welcome back to the Amway Center. The Magic with a 26-point lead. David Steele, Pat Garrity, and Matt Gukas. Matty, another 12 minutes of basketball for the Magic without a turnover. They've not committed a turnover since the first quarter.
Well, again, the Magic are much more alert in this game, obviously, from the jump ball. You know, I kind of got the feeling that Stan Van Gundy wishes Larry Drew would wave the white towel. Probably they play a good, strong 4 or 5 minutes here, and maybe he'll start getting his guys out there because they'd like to get Dwight Howard out of the game before Zaza does something silly.
There's a battle between Pachulia and Howard. Neither one of them comes up with a loose ball. Atlanta won the first game here and took home court advantage away from the Magic with a 10-point victory. The Magic won game 2. Then Atlanta won 2 close games in games 3 and 4 Friday and Sunday in Atlanta. A 4-point win Friday night, a 3-point victory on Sunday evening. Horford's shot is no good, and a clock violation again on Atlanta.
What a recovery by Dwight Howard. He was clearly faked out on the play and still able to slide his feet, move over and challenge that shot. Some guards can't do that. A lot of guards can't do that.
Well, you can tell that Stan Van Gundy was in all of his big guys' ears about really helping and extending the defense there.
There we go.
Yep. And the offensive foul is called on Howard.
See, Pachulia's just going to clamp and grab and hold and try to get Dwight to go back at him.
I think Stan may get him out of the game right now with 11:09 to play.
Yeah.
So Howard is going to come out of the game. Pachulia, one of the great agitators in the NBA, and Dwight to the sideline with 11 minutes to go in the basketball game, and Orlando leading by 26. Horford, a 15-foot jumper, is short. Rebound, Anderson. Now, when Howard went to the bench midway of the first period, the Magic went on an 11-1 run.
Yeah, J.J. Redick went on a tear.
Incredible. Turkoglu was also on the bench during that stretch. Tito bounces off Pachulia, but misses the jumper. Redick takes contact, but no call. Heinrich slips it to Williams, and a foul on Anderson. Ryan Anderson picking up the personal foul. Former star at Cal, only 22 years old in his third year. And a foul on Anderson, his second.
You know, Pat, David, there was a time when the officials, to start that fourth quarter, and I don't know that they didn't, would go right up to Dwight Howard and Zaza Pachulia and say, I am watching you too. Keep the elbows down, keep it clean, or you're both out of here, you know. But the officials don't want that done anymore. Yeah. They don't. They say the coaches don't want that done.
But talking about a different era, aren't you?
Well, to me, that's good officiating.
I agree.
Well, as a player, you always like it when the officials are communicating how they're seeing the game. A lot of times when you're out there playing and emotions are high, you're not seeing and feeling the game the way they are. And when two people are on the same page, it's all the better.
Sure. Well, it makes sense for Atlanta to try and bait Dwight Howard into doing something foolish, because it's becoming more and more apparent that there will be a Game 6 in Atlanta on Thursday night. What better way for Atlanta to gain a huge advantage than to get Dwight Howard out of that game? I'm sure that's what Stan Van Gundy was thinking about when he took Dwight off the floor with 11 minutes to play. Howard only 8 points and 8 rebounds tonight, but that doesn't even begin to describe his ability to affect this game. Here's a whistle away from the ball and a foul against Al Horford.
Foul number 6.
We'll make that Kirk Heinrich, number 5 on Heinrich. That can't be a Heinrich, could it?
He's not complaining.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I think he wants to get. He wants to warm the bus up.
Crawford is in the game. He's matched up with Arenas. Bass has been a screen setter tonight for the Magic and has played pretty well in that pick and roll. Here's a foul against the Hawks. Marvin Williams commits the foul. You really haven't seen Bass play a lot of pick and roll this year, so this is somewhat of a new wrinkle for Orlando's half-court offense.
You know, he's such a good two-point jump shooter from the wings and especially from the baseline that you would think there'd be more pick and pop opportunities for Brandon Bass.
Well, a lot of his opportunities at that free throw line area come off of playing off Dwight Howard rolling to the basket where he's finding that space. And you know, with his ability to jump and finish at the rim, if he can also step out and create space that way, he's so much more of a valuable player on the floor.
Well, this is the first time in 5 games that the Magic have gotten a lot of players. Everybody that's played has gotten involved, handling the ball, getting involved in the offense.
And that is always a good thing for the Magic in most teams. Crawford unable to get on track tonight, but here's a three-point opportunity for Jamal Crawford. A difficult floater off the dribble by Crawford. And Brandon Bass gets his first foul of the night.
But a very quiet night for Jamal Crawford compared to the first 4 games. Obviously, at some point you have to cool off because he was smoking hot in the first 4.
Crawford with 2 field goals, a three-pointer back in the second quarter, and that floater here in the fourth. Has 8 points tonight. Orlando leads 81-58, 9.5 to play in Game 5. Arenas shoots the pass inside to Anderson. He is fouled. Joe Johnson picks up the personal. A quiet night for Joe Johnson. Only 5 points here in Game 5.
And Gilbert Arenas has thrown some very nice passes tonight. A couple of drawing kicks in the first half. That was a good, sharp crisp two-hand chest pass right on time to Ryan Anderson. So Gilbert, who we saw in Game 4, was able to get to the basket on the pick and rolls and use his strength, not explosiveness, but his strength to get some layups up. Is playing very much under control so far.
Well, it was so important for him to find an area of this series where he could be effective, and really not getting minutes in the first 3 games. You had to wonder if he was going to be effective when he did get his chance, and once he did, he was able to score, and that just helps your confidence in all areas of the game.
Arenas did not play at all in Game 3. Came back with 20-point performance in Game 4 Sunday night. Marvin Williams travels. 11 turnovers on Atlanta tonight. The Magic have committed but 4. Arenas brings it to the front court. The 29-year-old veteran finds Redick curling off the screen. A tough shot. Foul. Horford. Redick will go to the line. Magic have led by as many as 28. Timeout on the floor. The Magic up 25. The Atlanta Hawks lead in the best-of-7 series 3-1, but the Magic 8 minutes and 52 seconds away from making this a 3-2 series. Time for Magic fans to weigh in on our Subway Restaurant Sub of the Game balloting. Ryan Anderson, J.J. Redick, and Gilbert Arenas all making strong bids tonight. Text your vote to 789-789. Anderson with a playoff career-high 11 points tonight. But it's Redick that really started the Magic scoring spree in the first quarter when he checked in, scored 11 consecutive points for the Magic. Quentin Richardson also has knocked down a 3-point shot tonight. And Anderson, as I mentioned, a career-high playoff 11-point effort. Gilbert Arenas has been effective at the point guard position behind Jameer Nelson tonight as well. Magic bench has accounted for 33 points tonight in Game 5. J.J. Redick missed the final 17 games of the regular season with an abdominal strain. He went 37 days without playing an NBA basketball game before the postseason began. Was injured on Orlando's early March West Coast trip. Kind of a freak injury during a team shoot-around before the Golden State game.
And with that amount of time that he's missed, it's amazing that he's had the conditioning that he's been able to maintain. You would expect him to be a little rusty handling the ball and shooting, and that certainly has not been the case tonight. But we really haven't seen him winded at all. His legs maybe in Game 4 not quite with him. A lot of shots short there, but
another good pass, Matty, by Gilbert Arenas, and Bass with the strong finish.
He's putting the clinic on. He's using that high screen beautifully.
Jamal Crawford. In and out. Rebound Anderson. Long throw ahead to Redick. Redick for 2. Got it.
First one to 88 wins. The 3 winnings other than Game 1. But the Hawks won 103-93. The winning score has been 88. That's where the Magic are now with a 30-point lead. What's that in Little League? Is it the 10-run rule? If you're up 10?
That's right. I don't think they're going to call this one off, and I don't think the Magic will get stuck on 88 here in Game 5. What a nice feed by Gilbert Arenas to Brandon Bass. And
Larry Drew thinks it's over now.
30-point game.
88.
Jeff Teague checks in. Damian Wilkins checking in. And the Magic building their biggest lead of the night. Josh Powell also in for the first time tonight. Williams' jumper is rebounded by J.J. Redick. Redick turning the corner, finds Quentin Richardson. A reverse jam by Q. Atlanta will take a timeout as Orlando's lead reaches 32.
Well, I can never remember. JJ has improved throughout the years handling the ball, but he has really handled it extremely well, scored himself, made the passes. 9-0.
Strength of Dwight Howard. And the Magic with the 90-58 lead. Malik Allen has checked in for the Orlando Magic during the timeout, getting his first postseason exposure during this 2011 campaign. Jeff Teague, a three-point shot, comes up short, and Allen gets the rebound. Allen, a 32-year-old veteran in his 29th playoff game. There's a ball rebounded by the Atlanta Hawks with 6:44 to play in the fourth quarter. The shot by Arenas. Here's Williams inside. Now Teague shoots it inside to Wilkins, and Marvin Williams in the corner. Shot clock is at 3. Williams' one-hander is good. 6 points for Marvin Williams. He has not been much of a factor in this series. The 6-year veteran out of North Carolina, the number 2 pick in the draft in 2005. We approach the halfway point in the fourth quarter of game number 5. Redick, the 2-point shot, in and out. And a foul on Williams, tangled up with Malik Allen. That's number 4 on Marvin Williams.
And David, Marvin Williams was a guy that the Hawks were going to go to when he came off the bench, especially in post-up matchups where they thought they had the advantage. Quentin Richardson did a nice job in game 1 of really taking him out of it, and we haven't heard much from Marvin Williams the rest of the series there. Even though this game is pretty much over, it's still important to not leave guys who haven't been playing well any opportunity for hope or any opportunity to feel good about themselves or their games.
Well, that's a good point, Pat, because with game 6 looming, now you start thinking a little bit ahead to that big game in Atlanta on Thursday night. And what advantage is there? An advantage? Is there a disadvantage to winning a game like this in a big fashion in game 5?
It's forgotten pretty much by the time you get out of the shower. Obviously, the Hawks have been embarrassed, and the Magic are going to feel good about themselves, at least for tonight. But, every game is different. I don't think any of the Hawks are going to feel good about themselves after this one. Even Josh Smith, who had 22 points and 11 rebounds, that looked like fancy numbers, but he did as much to take them out of the game early as anybody.
His numbers look good. Tonight, you were talking about it earlier, Matty, that you feared from the Magic standpoint that he could have a huge game.
Numbers are deceiving. There's putting up numbers and there's playing well. He put up numbers.
There goes Jeff Teague. Teague scoring for the first time in the series. He played 2 minutes in game 3. So Teague making the second appearance of this postseason. Earl Clark making his first postseason appearance this year. Wasting no time in getting up that 18-foot jumper.
Stan Van Gundy, he's upset. He's upset with that quick jump shot by Earl Clark with 16 seconds now. Defensive mistake. Although he recovered from it to block the shot. Gilbert Arenas, a few plays before, just dribbled up and launched a 3.
Magic leading by 28. Their biggest lead is 32. Chris Duhon getting up off the Orlando bench. He'll be the last Magic player to report for duty tonight in game number 5 as Redick rebounds the Atlanta miss. Orlando Leonard scoring tonight by Jason Richardson with 17. Arenas firing. Rebound Hilton Armstrong. And the Hawks' Jeff Teague brings it to the front court. Williams, a long 2 is good. We approach the 4-minute mark in game 5. The Atlanta Hawks trying to win a series against a team seeded higher than them for the first time since 1996. They were the number 6 seed then and defeated the number 3 seeded Indiana Pacers. Jeff Teague on the drive, and the shot no good, but a foul on Redick.
You know, you asked the question before, David, about any advantage. Now, the only thing this does is it puts, I'm not going to say pressure, but it really puts a lot on the shoulders of the Hawks going back for Game 6, because you know, it's going to be looked at as their Game 7. If they don't get the Magic in Game 6 on their home floor, they pretty much can expect this in Game 7.
Yeah, they don't want to come back here for a Game 7. So, and of course the Magic, every game now is an elimination game, starting with tonight. So that should be something Thursday night at the Phillips Arena, game number 6.
And as you know, this Atlanta team, saw them last year in the second round against the Magic. Very fragile psyche.
Well, tonight even, you know, just the one observation that I noticed was, even though things weren't going well offensively, they pretty much all but abandoned their defensive strategy of staying with guys. They started helping more and leaving open shots to Magic players. Really sticking with that discipline when the Magic players were making runs earlier in those games was what allowed them to win the games.
Well, I'm sure Larry Drew will have plenty to show his players
I don't know.
for the start of game number 6.
I don't know, David. I think you burned this one.
Yeah, don't show him anything.
You know, throw this one in.
Think about it.
Throw it in the trash can. Try to get this one out.
And there really are no adjustments to make in this game. Both teams know what either one is going to run, and you're right. You just go home and don't talk about it. And talk about what you're going to do to compete for the next game.
Put those headsets on. Don't read the paper. Don't listen to the radio. Don't listen to anybody.
Chris Duhon with a big play there.
It's probably what the Magic did yesterday. Just don't listen to anybody. Just get your game face on. Get ready. Play your game.
Damian Wilkins with his first field goal of the series. A former high school star here in Orlando with Dr. Phillips High. Magic 96, Atlanta 68. Clark acquired in that deal with Phoenix for Turkoglu and Richardson with the ball now. Now Duhon takes it back with the shot clock at 3. Duhon fumbles it and cannot find an opening, and the Magic commit only their 6th turnover of Game 5. The Magic 96, the Atlanta Hawks 68. Then Orlando broke open the game midway in the first quarter, and they have been in command ever since. 2:12 to play in Game 5. All-time NBA history, only 8 teams have ever come from behind when trailing 3-1 to win a best-of-7 series. 6 of the 8 did it with the home court advantage in Game 5 and again in Game 7. The only 2 that did not have that advantage were the 68 Celtics in a series Matty Gukas is familiar with, and the 1995 Houston Rockets, who came back to win the championship that year.
That did not feel good.
Lost in one Game 7 in Philly.
Matty, if it makes you feel any better, I was familiar with one of those series too in 2003.
I feel a little better now. Misery loves company, right?
Detroit Pistons came from behind after trailing 3-1 against the Orlando Magic in 2003. That was the infamous T-Mac headed to the second round for the first time in his career. That did not transpire after going up 3-1.
Well, that was a perfect example of going and losing a game on the road there and then having to come back and win at home. And it is so difficult to do when you have a nice lead like that, but things get a little bit tighter. The confidence can surely change.
Well, Clark's jumper is no good, and the Magic have been such a terrific three-point shooting team throughout the Stan Van Gundy era. I think we all felt like it was only a matter of time before the Magic would break out from beyond the arc. Even with Atlanta playing outstanding perimeter defense, Duhon for 3, that's no good. But now that the Magic have broken through, could that carry over for games 6 and 7? Their confidence shooting the basketball.
Well, I think they have to remember how they were able to do that, and it was taking care of the ball As you see Marvin Williams hitting a three-point shot there, but taking care of the ball in the half court and really coming out crisp and executing, and really no mistakes at all as far as spacing on the floor and where guys are supposed to be. They did a terrific job early of executing the game plan.
Great energy defensively early in the game. Howard was just off the charts, the three-time defending defensive player of the year. Arenas for three.
Well, I think the one thing that the Hawks are going to do is get back to definite single coverage on Dwight Howard, and I don't care if he gets 50. They're going to really get tight on the three-point shooters.
There's a foul on Malik Allen.
Dwight has one field goal tonight in 29 minutes.
And the Magic lead by 26. Balanced scoring. All 12 players are in the scoring column for the Magic, led by Richardson with 17.
The last time the Magic were up in Toronto late in the season, regular season game, but it was one of those kind of games. They were missing two good players, Jose Calderon and Andre Bargnani, but they single covered Dwight Howard with Reggie Evans, who did played it the way you're supposed to play. They wind up knocking the Magic off. Jay Triano had a good line after the game. He said, we only wanted one guy to be excited about playing this game, and that was Dwight Howard. He was, but the Magic did not play well as a team.
That's the way Atlanta had approached this series. Coming into game 5, Arenas missed an opportunity to get an easy bucket. Here comes Teague the other end. Leaned up by Josh Powell. Final seconds ticking down in game 5 at the Amway Center. The question now is, will we be back on Saturday night for a game 7? Foul taken by Hilton Armstrong with 7 seconds to play. And the Magic leading by 23. Stan Van Gundy has already made his way to the Magic locker room.
Yeah. Well, I think the crowd is happy because the Magic had a chance to get to 100. I don't know what that means, but
they get 3 tacos or something.
I don't know. Pizza. Yeah, they love the 100. But Hilton Armstrong. What's he think?
Well, it's an opportunity to instigate.
Well, he wanted to get a mark in the. Oh, you need 110 for a pizza. Oh, not going to get there. Well, Hilton Armstrong, that's his only blip on the screen.
He got a free throw a minute ago.
Oh,
now he's got
okay.
a point and a foul.
Good
That's
job.
the end of the game. The Magic win it by 25, 101 to 76 in game 5 at the Amway Center. There's still hope in Magic City.